Good evening, everybody. Coach Carroll here with SportsBanter38. I am going to conclude my NFL preview with this video. I've already done all the divisions, and we got the division winners and everything. And what I'm going to do today is just go over the seeding that I have for the playoffs, and also go through the playoffs, who I believe will win, and all the way up to the Super Bowl and all that good stuff, before we get officially started with the season tomorrow night with the Eagles and the Falcons, which is a great way to start the season. I think that's going to be a good game, a fun game to watch to break in the 2018 NFL regular season. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And for the AFC, the number 1 seed, we got the Patriots. Number 2, the Steelers. Number 3, the Raiders. Number 4, the Titans. And that's your division winners. The wild cards will be the Chargers and the Texans. And moving over to the NFC, we'll have the number 1 seed, the Rams. Number 2, the Packers. Number 3, the Eagles. Number 4, the Saints. That's your division winners. And the wild cards will be the Vikings and the Falcons. And just a quick note, I know a buddy of mine's a Cowboy fan, and I was actually looking to put them in there, but when I looked at my playoff rankings for the NFC, it was just a tough go. I mean, I believe the NFC is going to be extremely tough this year. Any other year, I believe the Cowboys get in with the team they have. I actually have them with double-digit wins. It's just everyone in the playoff on the NFC side has double-digit wins in my preview. So it was between the Cowboys and the Falcons, and I just believe the Falcons are a little better this year. Maybe the Cowboys make a push next year. We'll have to wait and see on that. But anyway, I'm going to get started on the playoffs. What I'm going to do is I've got everything here on this little index card. We're going to go through the wild card for both sides. Then we'll go through the divisional round for both sides, then the conference championships, and then, of course, the Super Bowl. I'm not going to go into huge analysis on each game, but I will touch a little bit on each game as we go through the playoffs. So to set up the first wild card matchups in the AFC, we'll have the Texans going to Los Angeles to play the Raiders, and we'll have the Chargers going to Tennessee to play the Titans. Over on the NFC, you have the Falcons going to Philadelphia to play the Eagles, and then the Vikings going to New Orleans to play the Saints. So we're going to go ahead and start in the AFC with the Texans and the Raiders. In this game, I actually have the Raiders defeating the Texans. By this time, I believe Deshaun Watson will. He's going to have a good year, but overall, I just feel like the Raiders are a little more explosive offensively. It does concern me about getting with them trading Khalil Mack. I believe that was pretty much their whole quarterback rush right there, and they're not very good at rushing the quarterback in the first place, and he's probably half of their rush, their quarterback rush. So that does concern me, but I'm not too concerned with the Texans being able to take too much advantage of that. I know the Texans got a really good defense, but after in the second half, I see the Raiders pulling away because I feel like offensively, of course, they have Jordy Nelson now and Amari Cooper. I feel like those two as a tandem is going to be very good with the Raiders, and I feel like that's going to be enough to at least get them in the second round. The other AFC playoff game, we'll have the Chargers at the Titans. I believe that's a really good game. I feel like the Titans are going to take a big jump this year. I think they're going to be a whole lot better than they have been in the past. I believe their new offense is really going to click with Matt LaFleur installing that a new up-to-date offense. Seems like the offense the Titans have run for the last several years has practically been like a 1988 offense. So I feel like they've had good receivers. They've had good skill players. I just don't feel like they've been used to their maximum potential, and I feel like that will be the case this year. They will be used fully to what they're capable of doing. And defensively, I feel like their defense is coming around. They've going to be really strong in the defensive backfield, and they also have a decent pass rush. Um, so I see the Titans getting around the Chargers this year, but the Chargers are going to be a pretty tough team this season. I believe they're going to give the Titans all they want at home, and they historically have beaten the Titans, in recent years when they've played them. But this year, I believe the Titans will get to the second round again, and they'll move on, and that'll set up the divisional playoffs the following week. You'll have the Titans going to the Patriots, and then you'll have the Raiders going to the Steelers. And going over to the NFC wild card, we got the Falcons playing the Eagles. I'm going to start with that game first. The Falcons are always very good, very explosive offensively. I got them going to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is still going to have a good team. I don't know if Foles or I've drawn a blank, guys. Carson Wentz will be playing in that game by the time that rolls around. I don't know if Wentz is fully healthy or not. Week 1 starts tomorrow night, and Foles is starting, so Wentz apparently is not ready. Ironically enough, they're playing the Falcons tomorrow, and that's the divisional. That'll be the wild card game in the NFC, according to my picks. I believe that the Falcons are actually going to be clicking on all cylinders by that time. I look for, they have Sanu, they have Julio Jones, but I look for Calvin Ridley by that time to be a very intricate part in this offense. I feel like he's going to be a great NFL player. I feel like he fits into the slot extremely well. Matt Ryan is a good serviceable quarterback. They're good in the backfield as well. I feel like, and they're good defensively. The Falcons are a good all-around team. I believe they will defeat the Eagles and get to the next round in the playoffs. And that will take me to the other wild card game where we have the Vikings going to the Saints. I feel like the Saints are going to take it up another gear this year. Of course, they're good defensively as well. They've improved. Of course, you got Drew Brees. You've got Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram in the backfield, a very good tandem. I really like what I see out of the Saints this year, and I see them defeating the Vikings this time and making it to the divisional round, which sets up a divisional round of the Rams versus the Falcons, or the Falcons going to the Rams and the Saints going to the Pack. Back to the AFC, I'm going to start with the Titans going to Foxborough to play the Patriots. I feel like this is a much better game, this divisional round, than it was last year when the Titans played the Patriots. But I still feel like the Patriots are going to be a little bit too much for the Titans, and they're going to move on to the AFC Championship. I know that Brady doesn't have everybody that he's had. He doesn't have a huge list of receivers and all that stuff this year, but Tom Brady always finds a way to get it done. I feel like this might be their last Super Bowl push. We'll see how that turns out. Like I said, I believe the Titans are going to put up a good fight. I believe that Mariota he'll have a good game. I don't see the Patriots leaving them on the field like they did last year. Like I said, I see a really good game in this one. Then we go to the other divisional round, the Raiders traveling to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Probably be a good cold winter game, just like it probably will be at Foxborough. Steelers, I feel like, are going to be clicking back in the mix again this year. And, of course, you got Le'Veon Bell. You You got that potent wide receiver core they have. You know, defensively they're always good. And Big Ben, I feel like it's going to be too much for the Raiders. I feel like their defense will not being able to get pressure on the quarterback will shine through in this game more so than it would in the first round. And I see the Steelers going on to the AFC Championship to play the Patriots. Now over to the NFC, we got the Rams and the Falcons. Of course, you got Jared Goff. I feel like he's played really well in this offense. On the defense, you got Donald, you got Ndamukong Suh. I feel like the Rams defense is just going to be off the charts good. The exact type of defense you will need to play with and defeat the Falcons. Even with all the weapons they have, I see the Rams prevailing in that game, and I see them moving on to the NFC Championship and going over to the other divisional game between the Packers and the Saints. I feel like this will be a good matchup. Of course, I feel like the Packers, you know, they have Jimmy Graham at tight end now, and I feel like his skills will be utilized to the full max potential with Aaron Rodgers. I feel like that's going to be a huge lift to that team and that offense. Of course, you got Randall Cobb. These guys, you know, the Packers are going to be good offensively. The Saints, to me, will be a little better offensively with the weapons they have. I feel like they can do more. And, you know, I can see, a pretty good scoring game, maybe in the 30s or so. Both teams, or maybe one team will get to the 30s and one team will be in the high 20s. You know, I see a pretty good game there, but I see the Saints. I see Drew Brees taking the Saints to the NFC Championship against the Rams. And, of course, that brings us to the conference championships. Going back to the AFC, you got the Steelers going to Foxborough to play the Pats. It'll be a phenomenal game. I feel like the playoffs this year is going to be one of the better playoffs we've had in a while, because I feel like both the AFC and the NFC are going to have strong teams make the playoffs, and it's going to be a gauntlet for any team that gets to the Super Bowl. But Brady, like I said, one more Super Bowl push. I feel like this is it. I feel like he pushes the Patriots into the Super Bowl. And then you got the Saints and the Rams. Should be another good game. You got that great defense with the Rams, which I think trumps Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and the Saints. I feel like that takes them to the Super Bowl. And then I feel like we're going to have another fantastic Super Bowl this year. The Patriots playing the Rams. Jared Goff versus Tom Brady. You know, when you say that, you're like hands down Tom Brady. People said the same thing last year, Nick Foles versus Tom Brady. I tried to tell everybody that the Eagles just have a better team. That's the bottom line. Nobody listened to me, and the Eagles were able to win that game. I feel like the exact same situation is this year. Tom Brady is the best quarterback on the field, probably the best player on the field, bar none. But the Rams, from top to bottom, have a better team. I feel like the Rams will be able to run the ball on the Patriots. The Patriots' defense is not lights out by any means. The Rams' defense, however, is lights out. I feel like that's going to be the difference in the game. I see the Rams prevailing and winning their first Super Bowl. Well, I'm sorry, their second Super Bowl. They did beat the Titans back in 99, 98 range, and then they lost to the Patriots like a year or two later. Anyhow, I see the Rams winning. The Los Angeles Rams will be Super Bowl champions this year. And that concludes my NFL preview. I will be adding all of this to a, what do you call it? A list, basically. It'll be a playlist. That's what I'm looking for, a playlist. All these previews will be added to a playlist, both for NFL and college. And like I said, that concludes my NFL playlist. I'm getting ready to come out with some more videos here in the next day or two. I'm going to do a college preview for the week 2 games, and I'm also going to do my Heisman 5 after week 1. And included in that 5 will be one dark horse, one sleeper, one guy that nobody has on the radar really. But you know, and like I said, that's all I got. That's my NFL preview. There will be a playlist that includes all of this, as well as a playlist that includes all of the college preview as well. And I thank everyone for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment down at the bottom. Let me know what you think about the picks. What did I get wrong? You know, who do you believe is going to win the Super Bowl? All those good things. I'd love to hear the feedback. Please like, share, and if you have not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help me out. And when we have a live discussion, you will be notified and you can jump right in. And once we get enough traction, we get enough people who are chiming in, we'll start having those live discussions and getting some good dialogue going for this content. I love discussing sports. That's the whole reason behind this. And I look forward to getting some good discussions going with you guys. Anyway, thanks again for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And everyone have a wonderful evening. And I'm Coach Carroll. This is SportsBanter38. And I am out.